चरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं शीतलचरणं कोमलचरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं प्रेमदाता प्राणनाथा प्रेमदाता प्राणनाथा प्राणनाथा सद्गुरुनाथा प्राणनाथा सद्गुरुनाथा सद्गुरुचरणं सदा भजामि सद्गुरुचरणं सदा भजामि शीतलचरणं कोमलचरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं शीतलचरणं कोमलचरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं मञ्जुलचरणं मम गुरुचरणं श्रीरामा खेलति मम हृदये खेलति मम हृदये श्रीरामा खेलति मम हृदये मोहमहानवकारकधारि 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 रागद्वेषमुखासुरमानि रागद्वेषमुखासुरमानि खेलति मम हृदये श्रीरामा खेलति मम हृदये खेलति मम हृदये श्रीरामा खेलति मम हृदये शान्ति विवेक सुखा सहचारि 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 लहराई ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति Shanti. Together we chant chapter 18 Bhagavad Gita verses 1 to 10.
अथ अष्टादशोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं सन्न्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुस्त्यागं विचक्षणाः त्याज्यं दोषवदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यमिति चापरे निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तम त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गम् त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम् नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात्तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः दुःखमित्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत् कार्यमित्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियतेऽर्जुन सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्यागः सात्विको मतः न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः
Janki ji, you are muted.
Okay, thank you, Mahesh. We were studying about Satwik, Rajasic, and Tamasic Tyag. Now, as you know, he always tells us when he's teaching us through the gunas, he teaches us the right way and he also tells us the wrong way. So there are two kinds of wrong ways. One is the tamasic way and one is a rajasic way. And the right way is the sattvic way. When you say that this is the sattvic way, it means it's the right way. If you say it's the rajasic way or the tamasic way, it means it's the wrong way. That's not what you're supposed to do. Many people are of the belief that rajas and tamas have to be there. That's not correct. The rajas and tamas are the wrong ways. We should endeavor not to have those kind of ways. Why are they the wrong ways? Because they will not get us what we want. It's not like a rule on somebody's head. Please understand, there are no rules on our heads. We are all free people, free to choose in any way you like. This is just telling us what kind of choice will give you what kind of result. So please be very clear on this. Vedanta has no shoulds in the sense that you should do this, you should be sattvic. No, it doesn't say you should be sattvic. It says if you perform, if you do things in this manner, this is what will happen. So the assumption is, of course, that you want to be happy, that you want to be productive, and you want to be spiritually evolving. If this is what you want, then these are the right ways of doing it. Right ways means these are the cause to that effect. So please be very clear about this, that there is no force on us to do any of this stuff. It's just telling us the cause and effect relationship. So what is the wrong way of doing tyag? The first wrong way of doing tyag means relinquishing, giving up. What is the first wrong way? Is when we give up something, but that's because of delusion. We don't understand the joy content. That's why we're giving it up. So all the people in the world who say, oh, I'm not interested in this and I'm not interested in that, do you know what those things are? Any one of us who say, I don't want to be Mukesh Ambani, has really no right to say it, because you don't know what his life is. It is tamasic tyag when you talk like that. So I don't want this and I don't want that, because I don't know what it means. When the child says, oh, I don't want to get married, this is tamasic tyag. Doesn't know what it means. Okay, now when she grows up and she does get married, and then the marriage troubles her a lot, and she says, I don't want to get married, marriage is a horrible thing. This is again wrong, because this is rajasic tyag, because I want to give it up because of the pain involved. This I want to give it up because of pain or the fear of pain. Both are fine. So I'm giving it up. Why? Because there's some pain involved. So when she's a small child and she says, I don't want to get married, tamasic tyag. See, we don't use this word for a child, but it's only for our understanding that when we don't know something, we've all given up the self. We are not interested in the self. This is tamasic tyag. We don't know what it is. And we say, I don't want it. All the people who say, I don't want to learn Vedanta, tamasic tyag, you don't know what you're giving up. Then comes rajasic tyag. Some people want to do Vedanta because they say, oh, very nice. We will become productive, we will become happy. Yes, we should do it. But when they come to it, too much trouble. Who will put in so much work? Forget it. नहीं ठीक है, हम जैसे हैं वैसे ही ठीक है. This is rajasic tyag. Because I know it's joy content, but it is the trouble, the bhaya, the klesha that makes us want to give it up. The fear of trouble or trouble, either way, that makes us want to give it up. So imagine, this is just for our understanding, okay? When the child is young and wants to give up marriage, this is tamasic tyag. When she is married, okay, and she's having trouble in the relationship and therefore wants to give it up, this is rajasic tyag. I don't mean trouble, please take this carefully, everyone, because I don't mean trouble like her husband is beating her up. Then she should be leaving. What I mean is, there's too much trouble in trying to make a relationship work. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of work. And so she said, chalo, chodo yaar, kisko chahiye, I'll live happily by myself. This is rajasic tyag. And then what is satwik tyag? That's the beauty of it. What is satwik tyag? So he explains satwik tyag is firstly that you are doing what needs to be done. Okay, so suppose you're in an abusive relationship, then what needs to be done is you need to take corrective action. You can't sit there and get beaten or abused verbally, physically, or any such thing. Or whatever, any you have to decide what is right in this action. So your first step in Satwik Tyag is to figure out what is it that I should be doing in this case. I am fighting with my husband because of an ego clash between the two of us, or I'm fighting with my husband because he's beating me or murdering me or something like that. Something horrible. Okay, so we must be clear. What is the situation here? 9 out of 10 times, it is merely a clash of desires. It's nothing else. It's so easily sorted if people wish to sort it out. 9 out of 10 relationships work beautifully if only the people are willing to put in the necessary effort. Sometimes the necessary effort is go ask for help. Okay, this is becoming difficult for me. Ask for help. Okay, so your first step is to figure out what is the right action. That's first step. Suppose you say, I want to become healthy. Then what is the right action? I don't know. I have put on so much weight, or I have got cholesterol or diabetes. I don't know what to do. Ask for help. That is the right action then. Don't know what to do, then ask for help. If you know what to do, then do it. Now, what is stopping you? Okay. So, first step in Satwik Tyag is
Think what to do. The right thing to do.
choose what is the
The
right
right
thing
thing
to
to
do.
do.
You have to decide
Doing
that
what needs to be
yourself.
done.
Correct. You decide it for yourself. You don't say, "Oh, मुझे ये करना ही है." There's no "मुझे ये करना है." We are no victims over here. We are the choosers. We are the ones with the choice. So exert the choice. What is the right action here? Number one, when you're doing the right action, then there's a second thing. Sangam tyaktva. Right action, by the way, we already discussed. What is the formula for right action?
Any action that takes you towards your goal.
Yes, very good. And then we said we also gave a concept of those kind of actions. What are those actions?
Obligatory duty.
Okay, obligatory duty is equal to
Special and regular.
special duties and regular duties. First, we say regular because they are more common. So, obligatory duties are our regular duties, and then our special duties. So, what is my regular duty? Everything that takes me towards my goal. And what are my special duties? Regular in the sense it's part of my schedule. I do this on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, whatever it is. I do my medical insurance once a year. It becomes part of my regular duties. Whatever everybody does. Okay, it could be done at any period of time, but it's done regularly. So you know that this has to be done. Like every morning you have to have a bath, right? It's your Nitya karma. It's a regular duty. Every morning you have to study. If you want to learn Vedanta, you have to study every morning. No, you don't have a break from that. That's your Nitya karma. That's your regular duty, daily duty. Okay, so you have class every, Friday. That's your regular duty. But then now you have a special session tomorrow. That's your special duty. If you want to attend the session, of course, there's no rule that you have to attend every session that goes on. But if that isn't in accordance to your goal, then that's your special duty. So you have to study every morning, you do your bhajans every day, you do your yoga, you do your aerobic, whatever exercise you're doing, regular duty. Then once in a while, you have to, I don't know what, fast for Karwa Chauth. No, that's also regular, right? You do that every year. Okay, so you have to fast. You went on a trip somewhere and there was no food and you had to fast. So that becomes your special duty because that day there was no food. So, okay, can't eat today. End of story. No point fussing about it. So there are nitya karma, regular duties, and special duties. Like if your neighbor is having a heart attack. Okay, it's morning 5 o'clock. You're studying Vedanta. Neighbor's having a heart attack. His wife comes to you and says, please drive us to the hospital, he's having a heart attack. You can't say, sorry, I am doing my morning studies, I cannot deal with you. At 6 o'clock, I will finish my morning studies and drive you to the hospital. You can't do that, because it will now become your special duty. Okay, so special duty, regular duty, and special duty. This is your choice of action. Okay, this is choosing the right action. How you choose the action is all dependent on how well you will choose the action, is all dependent on
Your intellect.
The goal.
how well you will choose the action, is dependent upon
Intellect.
How
What is
intellect.
permanent and what is
Your vasanas.
How aware you are, your intellect.
your intellect.
The Satwik nature.
what the
Your
situation
discriminative
demands?
nature. How well you will choose your action is all dependent upon
Awareness of obligatory duties.
that.
Arjavam.
Swadharma.
You have also joined Aditi's team, is it?
Swadharma.
What?
Swadharma. No.
How well you will choose your action is a matter of, you all are not wrong, by the way. You
Your
all are all,
intellect.
most of you are right. I mean, most of you who gave the right answer are right. You
How
know
clear,
elimination.
how clear the
Another
intellect is.
one, Aditi, your tribe is growing.
Quality of your thoughts.
How well? Where you are in your spiritual journey, Amrita?
Surrender Handa here. Surrender
Yes.
Handa. That was going to be answered by me. Thank you. So I'm progressing. Surrender Handa. How is on your spiritual path?
How strong you are on the spiritual path. Okay. So how well you will choose your obligatory duty is dependent upon the spiritual development, Shraddha. Okay, not I can't say any of you all are wrong, but what is the right answer?
Your
Quality of
conscience.
thought.
Present
Your conscious.
circumstances.
Okay.
Your goal. Your
Yes,
goal.
that is also correct. But how well you will choose it is
Satwik
dependent
content,
upon.
Janki ji.
Sorry, Satwik
Satwik
content.
content.
Okay, you are not incorrect. How
What is
well you will
temporary and what
choose
is
your.
permanent? What is temporary and what is permanent?
Your level of knowledge.
Yeah, so how well you do that discrimination is dependent on what?
Satwik
Proper
intellect.
thought. Proper thought put into it.
Yeah, proper thought is how well you will do your discrimination. It's called begging the question. Surek, Seema. Where is Seema? Who? Seema's iPad is who? Seema who? Seema, where are you? I can't see any Seema. Seema? Which Seema? Okay, this Seema. Seema, I don't think I know you. Do I know you? I'm on screen. Sometimes people look. You're muted, so I can't hear what you're saying. You're still muted.
Yeah, I'm Seema Jharwar. I had spoken to you earlier. Anita Menon had introduced me to you. She had
Yes. Seema. That's Seema's iPad. Is that you who said morning studies?
Yes.
Okay, so you are the top scorer for today.
Thank you.
Morning studies, my dear. Don't go say spiritual development, intellect, goal, all wonderful things. But they are all pertaining to effects. And in Vedanta, we train ourselves to think about causes, not effects. How strong my intellect is dependent upon my,
Consistency in self-studies.
yes, how well I've studied in the morning, how well I've discriminated. My discrimination, viveka, my intellect is entirely dependent on how well I have been studying. Okay, so it's correct. Your answers were correct. Discrimination is right. Intellect is right. Discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent, all the answers you all gave more or less were right. But they were wrong because they did not identify the cause. The cause is, are you putting in the effort? So you are spiritually developed, then naturally you will discriminate well. Correct? You will discriminate. But that is not good enough for us because we are always going to think in terms of what can I do now? Not what I have done in the past. You may have grown to 80% of spiritual growth. So 80% of your decisions will be right. That's correct. But I have to keep focusing on the thing that's going to get me that result. My 20% wrong has still to be corrected, right? So morning study, morning. Seema Malhotra. Okay, Seema. Welcome to the class if you're attending for the first time. If you don't understand anything, stop me and ask. You're free to ask me and I'm also free to ask you. And since y'all all judge my answers, I also judge your answers, okay? Tit for tat. So when, how well I will choose my action for the day is dependent on have I put in the effort in developing my discrimination. So first part of it is, in a Satwik action is that I have chosen the action properly. Okay, and executed it, obviously. Second part of it is Sangam Tyaktva. That means I am not now in love with the action. I can drop this action. End. Just as an example, I love talking to you. But do I have this capacity to be able to stop the class at will? Do I have the capacity? I don't have to stop the class in case you're worried about it. Or maybe you're happy about it. I don't know. But it's not what I do. It is, am I capable of it? Am I capable of doing that? Okay. Otherwise, I've fallen in love with the action. And I'm doing the action now as a mind-led action. It may be incidentally the right action, but it was mind-led. So that's not correct. So a Satwik action is not only the right action, it was not with Sangam, it was not with attachment. Attachment means I love the action. I'm going to do it whether you want me to do it or not. Like some people like to speak. So whether anybody else wants to hear them or not, they are going to speak. They'll interrupt the class also because they have to speak. Because they love to speak. Okay, so when you want to speak, nobody can stop you. That is called Sangam. When you want to, do any action, and nobody in the world can stop you, this is called Sangam, including yourself. You also can't stop yourself. So when you see that, you feel sympathetic. You don't feel judgmental, you feel sympathetic that this person can't stop it. So, remember when we couldn't stop something, sympathy towards people, charitable disposition. I can't stop things, and so can they not. It's all following the same basic human behavior. So I have to train myself that I am able to give up anything at any time. A mother brings up her son. She loves him. She brings him up. Okay. But when he gets married, she doesn't know how to step back. She just doesn't know this. She doesn't know that it is not her place to tell the young couple how they should live their life. She doesn't do that. And that's why all the fight starts. The girl who's married to that boy doesn't realize this. She doesn't realize that this lady is not capable of Sangha. Why does she not realize that her mother-in-law is not capable of giving up the Sangha? Why does she not realize it?
Because she's not reached that stage.
That doesn't answer anything. What is that stage which she has to reach? These are all begging the question, by the way. I hope you all are going through those points about clearer thinking. Please do so. Begging the question means repeating the question in different words. So if I say, for instance, why does this drug, why does this tablet cause sleepiness? And you reply by saying, it's a soporific drug. Soporific means it causes sleepiness. So you just repeated the question in different words. Okay, so why is the young girl who is married now, why is she not able to tell that her mother-in-law cannot give up this sangha?
Because she still is not a mother herself and does not know what attachment for a child is.
No, not at all. Everybody knows attachment because only the object is different. Attachment in everybody is the same. We all know attachment very well. We have been facing it from early childhood. We have been beaten by it since early childhood. We all recognize it. Only object changes. Attachment stays the same.
She
Seema,
doesn't
can you
have empathy.
Sorry, Marsh?
Empathy.
No, she doesn't have empathy. Why doesn't she have empathy?
She
Seema, can you
herself is
She wants to take control of the situation.
Mother-in-law.
She herself is
Wait, you
attached.
are all talking at the same time, so now I can't tell. Uttara, tell me, what were you saying?
She herself is attached.
Very good. Correct, Uttara. Because she herself is attached. That's what Seema also said. So I didn't know what. So can you tell me, what is she attached to?
Her husband.
She is
her husband. She's attached to her husband, so she can see nothing around. Mother-in-law is attached to her son, so she can see nothing around. Now, tug of war, pull this poor guy apart. If one of them was mature, there'd be no problem. That's why in Vedanta we say only one person needs to learn in the family. Just one person in the family learns Vedanta, no problem. But even one doesn't learn. And so we are where we are. So that girl cannot understand what is happening to the mother-in-law because she's attached to her husband. And the mother-in-law cannot understand what is happening to that daughter-in-law because she's attached to her son. This is the madness. I'm giving a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law example because in front of me there are all women only. No men I can see. But think about it in office. Okay? Somebody is doing something, whatever, who's bugging you so much. We have no sympathy that he can't stop himself from doing whatever he is doing. No sympathy. Why? Because we ourselves are attached to something. If that attachment wasn't there, we'd immediately understand, quickly understand what the situation is. Yes, Tinky? Unmute yourself first.
So, if I, then would I not understand another's attachment? I can understand what it is to love my son, and I can't just, because somebody signs on a paper and I just hand him over. So would I not, as a daughter-in-law, understand that the mother is attached and same way?
You're not handing him over.
No, in the sense that you're saying, na, because I'm attached, I can't see the other's attachment. I thought if I am attached and I feel so much love, then would I not understand that, even she feels so much love? I have just known this person briefly. This person, mother-in-law, is known for so many years. Then the attachment, isn't it natural? I mean, isn't that how I would see it, or no?
If it was so natural, then everybody would be seeing it like that, and no mother-in-law and daughter-in-law will be fighting. So every time from time immemorial, this fight has been going on. So it's a very nice thought if you can think like that. But you can think like that only when you're not attached and you have love. Attachment is the opposite of love.
Okay, so I don't know if we are allowed to do this. Like now, I've been married 41 years. And my mother-in-law has been a great mentor and guide. And I've never ever felt that, Why is she telling my husband this? Because I always feel a mother can never wish ill for her son. So there was never any feeling of why is she attached or why is she, never, never.
No, that's because maybe you and she were compatible. This situation arises when the desires are not compatible.
Maybe.
This will arise in your life with those people with whom it's incompatible desires. That's when the problem starts. Some of us have been blessed to have very good mothers-in-law. Some of us have not been so blessed. Those who are not so blessed, they know what they are going through. And vice versa, even with daughter-in-law. Or anybody, could be the neighbor, could be the colleague in office, could be the boss, could be, just the irritating chairman of the cooperative society, could be anybody. But when there's a clash of attachment, then all hell breaks loose. If one person stays mature, everything continues properly. But you can't force maturity on yourself. That's the problem. Just as you can't force it on somebody else. So that's where the thing is. So therefore, moral of the story is
Morning studies.
Very good, Aditi. Morning study. You stick to that. Like a leech, you stick to that. And then you will be good to go one day. Not immediately. Don't get up tomorrow morning and then in the evening when you fight with your husband say, oh, we learned that we should be studying in the morning and then nothing will happen. Mera to abhi aisa hi chal raha hai. No. Chill. It's going to take some time. By the time it seeps in, takes time. Takes a lot of time. It's not happening overnight. Seema, you said you came today. So let me warn you from right now. You're on a long journey, my dear. Nothing's happening in a day. Get used to it. Get used to it from day one. You are going to commit yourself to improving yourself or not. But if you commit yourself, this is a long journey. We're going to be together for a long time to come. So,
Janki-ji?
Yeah, Bharat.
So going back to this point of correct action minus attachments, we say that detachment, you have to detach from the lower to be attached to higher, right? So there has to be some starting point of attachment. So how do you remain detached at any point?
You studied only yesterday, Bharat.
Satsang.
Starting point, yes, Satsang. Company of the good. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste. Let it remind you of
Your goal.
Your higher goal in life. Keep everything around you for your senses to only remind you of that. If you're watching news programs, Bharat, ask yourself, is this room taking me to my goal? When you go to the gym, ask yourself, is this helping me reach my goal? If it is, I do it. Otherwise, I dump it.
So I have a question.
Yeah, 1 second, Tinky. Sangeeta, you're saying dhairya practice is the first quality we need to develop. If patience was the first quality we develop, we can all just close the whole thing and go home. Because patience is really going to take us a long, long time. Patience is maturity of the mind that doesn't react. And that happens only once you grow up. And you grow up only when you
Morning studies.
Morning studies.
Yes, correct. do the work. भाई काम करो. Don't say अच्छा ये क्लास अच्छा है मैं क्लास अटेंड कर दे. No, जाके काम करो. Yes, Tinky.
So I was saying that wanting to know, we are made up of all three gunas in different proportions, which makes us unique. So is it that during, maybe one is predominant, but during the day, we may be moving from tamasik to sattvic, back to tamasik to sattvic to rajas. Does that happen? I think it does.
Yes, it does. So you have to, that's your effort. Keep to sattva as far as possible. You won't be able to naturally, but struggle with it. Kam karo, kam karo. Nose to the grind. You want to achieve something, nose to the grind. Don't say, oh, I will achieve it, but I will put no effort. Nahi hoga. Kam karo. Struggle with it. Okay, so now coming to the third point that makes it
So
sattvic.
every situation that comes to us,
Sangeeta, we've lost your voice, so just type whatever you want to type. Many people, your voices go away, so just type it. Typing is good in two ways. One is it disciplines you to say it in brief words. And secondly, we can also attend to whatever you're saying. Okay, then that brings us to quality number 3 that makes it a sattvic action. So remember, we just do this again. Number 1, first quality, that you're doing an obligatory duty. You have chosen the duty correctly. You have chosen the action that has to be done now. You have thought about what needs to be done and executed. Number 1. Number 2, there is no attachment in the action. You perform that action. In other words, you perform that action, whether you like it or not. In some cases, you won't like the action. In some cases, you will like the action. You will put these two things aside and do what needs to be done. Okay, so Sangam Tyaktva, which brings us to the third quality that makes something a sattvic action. There is no craving, there is no longing for fruit. Not interested. Absolutely not interested. Okay, Sangeeta. So every situation that comes to us, we keep in mind, it's my patience test. Sangeeta, it's almost sounds like you are only expecting bad things to happen. Why is every situation a patience test? Every situation is different. You apply your intellect. Some of them will be good, some of them will be bad. Some of them will be neutral, some of them will be helpful, some of them will be non-helpful. You apply your intellect. Where is patience test coming into this? Apply your intellect and decide what you want to do. It's your choice. And depending on how you choose will be the effects of whatever you do. So not every situation, patience test, so almost like you're anticipating all the problems of the world falling on your shoulders. And even if there are problems, okay, anyway, we are about to enter this. Even if there are problems, what of it? What's the patience about? So, third part of...
I meant
Can't hear you, Sangeet. I will only go by what you've written. So you don't get 10 chances. You have to write it down properly the first time. Better have a strict teacher. Otherwise, everybody gets very dila-dala. You get one chance. Write down what you meant, because we are not going to make any calls on what you meant. We are going to read what you've written.
Sorry, Janki ji. Omkar, there's something wrong with your audio. It keeps coming on.
Situations related to attachments. Same thing is whether whatever. You're assuming a problem. Why are you assuming a problem? 90% of our life is no problem. Please take cognizance of that. Is your stomach hurting? Sangeeta, is your stomach hurting right now?
no, the
No. Is your tooth hurting?
no.
Is your leg hurting? No problem.
No.
Then what?
I understand. I get your point.
90% of life is fine, and we don't even talk as if it's fine. We talk like as if there's a problem somewhere. And the problem is a small little thing, a little dot come in front of my eye, and it's blocked the whole world. Move it from your eye, the whole world is not blocked anymore. Which brings us to the third point, which is fruit. That's a killer, the fruit one. Because all the time our life is spent on effects. All the time. What is going to happen? What has happened? This is irrelevant. There's only one irrelevant thing in this world. What is the relevant thing in this world?
The right action.
This moment, taking
Correct.
action right now.
Right now, what am I doing? That's the only relevant thing in the world. If your mind goes to anything else, you're wasting time. Just wasting your life. Wasting time means wasting your life. You'll be dead one day, and you'll have done nothing. Because all the time you were thinking, ye hua or ye hone wala hai. I am not interested in effect. If it's an effect, I'm not interested. Don't talk about it. Somebody comes to you and says, I'll read your hand for you. What will you say?
Yes.
We will give him that hand.
Bharat, if you start doing that, then Babre. Okay, please, nobody go to Bharat and say that. He's our strong man. And he goes to the gym and does some million squats or something. So don't at least ask for his. But if somebody asks you, tells you, I'll tell you your future, and you're a Vedanta, a student, you will say,
I am the architect of my life.
okay, all right, that is correct. What will you say? Somebody says, I'll tell you what's going to happen. What is that Brigu Patra? What was
I create my own destiny.
that? Is correct. But he'll say, I'll tell you what you're about to create.
I live in the present.
Yes, you say, even if you're going to predict for me perfectly what is going to happen in the future, I'm not interested. I'm not interested because
Matters.
I live in the present moment.
Because I don't care about the fruit. I don't care. Just don't care. But we can't do that. We are very interested in the fruit. अच्छा क्या होगा? मेरी शादी कब होगी? मुझे पैसे कब मिलेंगे? मुझे ये कब होगा? वो कब हुआ? अब मेरी बेटी की शादी नहीं हो रही है, तो आप प्लीज मुझे बोल दीजिए कोई अच्छा मुहूर्त आएगा क्या? Vedantins don't talk like that because they say, I am not interested. They're simply not interested. That does not translate into, I will not do what is necessary. Remember, his first point was, do what is necessary. Okay, because that's where people make this mistake. They say, I'm not interested and stop doing the work. Say, hello, please, you do the work. Don't be interested in the fruit. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Karmani adhikar aste. Your adhikar, your right is karma. Karmani in action. Your right is an action. Ma phaleshu, not in fruit. So say, I don't care. All I care about is
My action.
Doing
my
the right
obligatory
action.
duty.
did I do what I need to do? That's all I care about. Did I do what needs to be done? If I done that, then I don't want to know what I'm getting out of it. I'm not interested. That's called character. That's called happiness. That's called maturity. That's called, I don't know what. All the virtues in the world are in this. It's called patience also, by the way, Sangeeta. It's called everything. Aditi, it's Arjavam also. Aditi, Reshma, all of you. It's Arjavam also. I just am concerned in, did I do the right action? That's all I'm concerned. Now you will say, इतना strong क्यों भैया? थोड़ा fruit तो दे दो हमको. हमने काम किया ना, हमने study किया ना, तो अभी marks तो दे दो, admission दे दो. अच्छा मुझे admission भी मिले, marks भी मिले. अब बनता है ना कि एक मोबाइल मुझे मिले. It seems so reasonable to us. That बनता है, definitely बनता है. अगर बनता है तो मिल जाएगा. Don't worry about it. But not interested. So, not looking for. Usha Shri. Usha Shri, where are you? Can I see you? Usha, where are you? Can I call you Usha? Usha Shri.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Usha, first time you're attending?
No, not first. 2-3 sessions I attended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
not
So,
understood completely.
no, don't worry. It will take a long time to understand completely. I'm struggling with it myself. So, we have a long journey ahead of us. Does that mean we should not plan? If you don't plan, you're not doing what you should be doing. Suppose you're making a meal and you haven't planned, then you started making idli, but you never soaked the thing and you never ground it and now you're ready to make idli, but there is no dough to make it with. How can you not plan? Planning is part of what should be done. Okay, so unless you're planning your work, you can't do it. So doing the work, sorry?
Does that mean, but not be obsessed with, do it correctly or very much into the future or anything like that?
It is not being obsessed is sangam, attachment. Obsession is nothing but attachment. And he's already told us, no attachment. So there's no obsession. So you're going to do the right action. You're going to do the right action without any obsession for the action. And you have no interest in the fruit. Can you imagine what life will be if we can actually execute that? You will have perfect action, perfect fruit, perfect peace of mind, and self-realization. All of it. You're just able to execute this much. Satwik Tyag. Imagine that. What a beautiful thing it is. Satwik Tyag. So, Satwik Tyag means right action. No sangam, no attachment. It means obsession and all of this nonsense will come in that no attachment bit. And then no fruit. I'm not interested in what's going to come out. Tomorrow we have a major lecture and we are expecting 10,000 people to come. Not interested. Have we done all that we need to do? That's it. Now, after one person may come, Prasad of the Lord. 10 million may come, Prasad of the Lord. When they come, are we going to start jumping and dancing? Oh, finally, we're getting Vedanta across to people. No point. Doesn't mean you don't enjoy. Please don't take it as, every time anything is said, it's usually misunderstood. So enjoy every part of it, right? Enjoy it if people come. Enjoy it if people don't come. Okay, people used to tell me, they'll call me up and say, many years ago, of course, that, oh, today, nobody is coming to the class, so-and-so is ill, so-and-so this has happened, so-and-so that has happened. And so nobody will be able to come to the class. So what is the response? Acha, very good, chutti. Have fun. Oh, today everybody is coming. Very good, have class. What is the problem? Moment to moment. But why not enjoy every bit of it?
Take it as it comes.
Not take it as it comes. Just be happy. What comes, you'll have to deal with. Whatever the situation, you just deal with it. So just deal with whatever is there and enjoy yourself. If you went to play tennis, do you play any sport, Usha Shri?
I used to, but
Which
now I used to play throw ball.
Throw ball. So how will you behave depends on where the ball is.
Yes.
Right? So life is like that. But the game is on and have fun. Sometimes the ball is in your court, sometimes it's not in your court. When it's not in your court, watch. When it's in your court, is it on you? Then you have to do something. If it's on a team member, let the team member handle it. Why are you getting worked up? So depends on where what the situation is. But whatever it is, have fun, enjoy yourself. The game is on.
Thank you, Janaki.
Yes, Tinky.
So you were just mentioning that whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself. So like morning study, now we are slowly trying to get used to that we should wake up and study, and is also beginning to enjoy. Does that mean we're getting attached to it?
That's a answer only you can give. If your neighbor comes and says, I have a heart attack, and you say, no, I want to study, then yes, you are.
But
So
some
that's
days,
an answer.
but if I don't wake up some days, then
If you don't wake up, then enjoy sleeping. What else to do?
no. So that's what my question is: does enjoyment mean attachment? Is enjoyment equal to attachment? No, na. No.
Enjoyment becomes equal to attachment when your attachment is being met and therefore you are enjoying. That is attachment. When your attachment is consistent throughout, it means you're not attached. The ups and downs of life are not going to kill you.
Janki ji, can you say that again, please?
When your enjoyment is because of an attachment, then your enjoyment is only in that situation. But if you have to maintain continuous enjoyment, it's because of lack of attachment. You're happy with any option. Otherwise, when it's not according to the way I want, it kills me. I can't be happy. Suppose a student fails their exam, or fails their exam. I remember in school, I never forgot this incident in school. I'm giving you personal experiences because now I don't know you, so I can't tell you from your experiences. But there was this girl in school. She was very sweet. And she was quite dedicated to her studies. Very young we were. I don't know, we may have been 10, 12, something, very young. And in her Hindi exam, she got 9.5 on 10. And I've never forgotten. She was very cute. She was a little Parsi girl and golden hair and nice ringlets and, very pretty and very sweet and all that. And the way she had cried that day, I just kept watching her. I could not understand. She got 9.5 on 10. Now, I was not particularly interested in studies. I was fooling around too much. And so, if I had got 9.5, I would have been thrilled. But she got 9.5 and she was sobbing away. And I was so fascinated with watching that. It just couldn't wrap my brains around it. I didn't wrap my brain around that thing until I started studying Vedanta. 9.5 on 10, and she sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, and she sobbed until she reached home. And the reason she sobbed is because a particular word in the book was long iki matra. The Hindi test was long iki matra. Her mother told her that this is a misprint. It's actually a small iki matra. So she in the test wrote small iki matra, and it turned out wrong, and they cut half a mark. How she has cried. I think this is the story of our life. When we lose something that we are attached to, how we will cry. It is breaking our heart. That's what attachment does. You will be crying. You means you and I and all of us, every one of us. We will be crying. Cannot be happy as long as the attachment is there. So, when the attachment is to a fruit, the joys of life go up and down. When there is no interest in the fruit, then you have the greatest satisfaction of life, which is having done what needs to be done. The greatest satisfaction because it satisfies you so completely, and that satisfaction is within your control, and that satisfaction can be with you at all times. It is your constant companion, and it is your armor against any sorrow in this world, because your jug is full. You're already happy. So when sorrows come, how much will they reduce this happiness? Not so much. Because your cup is overflowing as it is. And this is in our hands. And this satisfaction we can have at all times. And you feel that everything with it. You'll gain confidence. You will gain everything with it. Happiness, confidence, I don't know, protection against big sorrows, everything. Your cup is already overflowing. Remember, you did what needs to be done. Imagine the whole day you did what needs to be done. You put your head on the pillow. What can sorrows do to you? What can they do to you? They stand no chance with you because your cup is full. Even if the sorrows try to take something out, it's a overfull, it's a brimming cup. What will they do to you? It's your armor against all sorrows. So understand the whole concept of Satwik Tyag. It's a wonderful concept if we can understand it. Don't try implementing it, please. Understand it. Just understand it. In Vedanta, the concentration is always on understanding. When the understanding comes, action will be automatic. So just seek to understand it. So why should we not be interested in fruit? First reason we've already covered. Because these fruits, they'll come and go. They're not within our control. Anything can happen at any moment. You've got to keep your mind on something that's not in your control. You can do the very best and still things may not come out well in the short term. Remember that. If you have done all that you need to do, that fruit will come to you one day. But in the short term, you haven't got it. Are you going to sit down and weep now? Or are you going to continue working? Just continue working. So, not interested in the fruit, then you will continue working. Very interested in the fruit, obsessed with the fruit, you'll stop working. ये नहीं करूँगा. मिला नहीं मुझे. Why will I do anything? You give it up. And when you give it up, you can't get it for certain. This is Rajasic Tyag, remember? So, when we work for a fruit, we make our life miserable. Miserable in the sense, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When you get it, you're very happy. When you don't get it, you're miserable. Now, what happens in life is, you don't get fruits that often. You know, every fruit, you work for something, you have to wait maybe a year, 2 years, 5 years to get it. Are you going to be happy 5 years later? Isn't that silly? Why would you do that? Why would you push your happiness for 5 years later when you can have it right here, right now, and today, right here? You don't even know whether that fruit will come in 5 years or not. So why would you do that? So if we think of the fruit, we make ourselves miserable. Not only do we make ourselves miserable because we didn't get the fruit, we make ourselves miserable in the journey because the heart is going dhak, dhak, kab milega, kab milega, kab milega, kab milega, dhak, dhak, dhak. By the time that fruit comes, we have had a heart attack and we can't enjoy the fruit. Pagalpanti, you know, does anybody think? If we think for a minute, we'll understand what nonsense this is. We'll stop doing all this rubbish in life. Think it through. Think it through for yourself. Don't believe what you're told. Think it through for yourself. Okay, so that's it for today. We will continue next time. Hari Om.
Thank you so
Janki ji,
much.
can I make an announcement?
Janki ji.
Yes, please make an
Hari Om.
announcement.
Yes.
Hari Om, Janki ji.
Hari Om.
So this Sunday, this Sunday we will have the big group discussion. So the presentation has already been made. The discussion will be from 7 to 8 p.m. I will just put my number, and anyone who wants to join the WhatsApp group, you can give me a request or you can ping me. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Janki
Hari Om,
ji.
Janki ji. Thank you very
Hari
much.
Om Janki ji.
Thank you,
Janki
Janki
ji.
ji. Hari Om.
Thank you Janki ji.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om,
Hari
Janki
Om.
ji.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hari Om, thank you.